Candy, Christian Jacobs, and John Michael brawl to the back area, the locker room area that we had set up here. And they're going, Derek King's had enough. Here comes those left jabs, lefts, repeatedly in the face of the Golden Boy, Greg Anthony. He's got it down to the canvas. Derek King is not going to stand for this. And yeah, the fans are like, wait a second, Alan Steele! All that Alan Steele has just hit the ring. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Alan Steele is now kicking away. No, wait a second. Are you telling me that one of these two men, either Derek King or Cody Melton, are the man that Alan Steele's been looking for? Bobby Eaton connects on Cody Melton. Alan Steele's attacking Melton now. He's putting him in a steel trap. Derek King's got to get there. Derek King's going to save his protege, but look at Golden Boy. He's making him watch. He's making him watch this situation. I think these two are in cahoots the whole time. Golden Boy knows who it is. He knows the secret. Stanley Cloud.
Which one is it?
Surprise, surprise, Derek King.
Derek King, what?
Hold on, you think I forgot? You think I got a bad memory, punk? You broke me in. You did me wrong. You took my money, you jerk. 12 years. The fuse, the blood, the sweat, the tears. It's personal, punk. I've driven to RCW week after week. I've defeated opponent after opponent just to crawl over dead bodies to get to you. And what do? When I walk through the front, you hightail it out the back, you sissy coward.
Shut up!
So what happens? I have to act like I'm not coming during the event. So Derek King would show up. So you take the yellow stripe off your back and get in the ring for once. And what did it take? You turn your back for 1 second, and guess who's there standing behind you, punk? All that Alan Steele is your shadow from now on. Whether you're in the ring, at your house, with your mama, it doesn't matter. Go find your girlfriend, take her out for dinner. I might punch her in the face too. Hold this up.
Oh, you hit somebody in the face. Did you think you're bad?
This is long from over. Get back. If you think that hurt, you can, man. You ain't seen good now. Look, you ain't seen nothing.
I can't believe what we just seen here. All that Alan Steele. Derek King.
I tell you, you're right, Adam Steele. This has been 12 years of proof. I'll tell you what, here we are right now at 4th and the 4th.
Bell sounds and whoa, watch out! Dynamite Seth Knight tossed up and over the top rope, and wrestling fans and I'll roll up here by Chris O'Neal on Stan Lee. And yes, you're probably thinking, what in the world are Chris O'Neal and Stan Lee, normally tag team partners, doing opposing each other? Well, fans, this is action being brought to you from the 4th and the Forest held on July 3rd. And exactly what happened was a situation where the scheduled tag team opponents of Chris O'Neal and Stan Lee did not arrive, had car trouble or whatever. So we were actually going to have a situation where it would have been a forfeit in the tag team match. And on the way to the actual show, Stan Lee and Chris O'Neal got involved in a big debate saying, what if we ever faced each other, who would win? They actually ended up betting each other double or nothing on who would be the winner of the match. Then Dynamite Seth Knight, who finds himself back at ringside again. Dynamite Seth Knight came out. He said, I'll one up both of you guys. I'll beat you both. We ended up with a three-way dance here as part of the annual 4th and the Forest this year, of course, featuring Ringside Championship Wrestling. Leapfrog by Chris O'Neal. Stan Lee returning the favor. Look at this action coming at you. Two young men, and whoa, right there, Stan Lee finds himself on the ringside floor as Chris O'Neal getting the fans behind him. He's wanting to go high risk here. Chris O'Neal, Stan Lee. It'll be interesting to see which one of these two men. Whoa! And Stan Lee trips up his tag team partner there. Which one of these two young men? They're actually kind of having a good time out there. It's friendly competition, so to speak, as that crossbody by Stan Lee goes for a cover. 2 count only by referee Justin Bryson. Of course, Dynamite Seth Knight, you know, he's been looking, he trips Stan Lee there, and he's going to slide him to the ringside area and slam him head first into the apron. Dynamite Seth Knight has been looking for a victory. Looks like he may be getting... Watch out! Good grief! Dangerous action there from Chris O'Neal, who's just ran head first in the steel post. Looks like a little bit more aggressive. Dynamite Seth Knight, you know, he had a situation some weeks ago with former WWE, former ECW superstar Rodney Mack, in which Rodney Mack gave him some advice and then, of course, ended up attacking Seth Knight, throwing him in the ring, having an impromptu match, and then beating Knight. Knight, who at first in his RCW career did not play by the rules, he's starting to show signs of that as opposed to the more fan-friendly Dynamite Seth Knight we've seen in the last several weeks. He told me before the show that he wanted to make an impact here at 4th and the Forest because he feels that he needs to get that victory to get back in contention for RCW Heavyweight Champion John Michael Worthington, the man who has that big bullseye on his shoulder. Boot to the midsection by Dynamite. Look at this. Head scissors. Oh, Dynamite. Couldn't hang on. Watch out. This thing is hard to call. These guys are flip-flopping everywhere. Chris O'Neal to the floor. Bulldog by Dynamite Seth Knight. Well executed. Going to go for a cover. 2 count only again by referee Justin Bryson. Again, this week, Ringside Championship Wrestling action coming to you from the annual 4th and the Forest Festival. We had a fantastic time. As you can see, all the great fans who came out to join us, they seem to have a blast. Heard a lot of great comments about what they saw at the 4th and the Forest. Now look at Dynamite Seth Knight a choke here. That's not what we've been used to seeing from him since he changed his ways some weeks ago. Maybe he feels that he needs to just get a little bit more aggressive, play the old school Dynamite Seth Knight, so to speak, and that'll get him back to his winning ways. Dynamite, look at there, split-legged there by Stan Lee. That's something on his mind. Dynamite Seth Knight going to catch him, drop him down. No. Looked like it's going to be a bulldog, but Stan Lee up and over. It's hard to call this one. Crossbody again now. Referee, not quick enough. Here comes Chris O'Neal. High crossbody for the top one, too. And Stan Lee able to survive right there. Three-way dance. Actually, this is the first time in Ringside Championship Wrestling history as another cover, that time on Seth Knight by Chris O'Neal. Again, to no cigar there. Close but no cigar, as they say. Chris O'Neal has Stan Lee now in the corner. Forearm shot there. Measures him for a second one and delivers. Irish whip coming up. Up and over Stan Lee. Look at that great agility there. Spinning heel kick. Catches his tag team partner. And now he could be looking to go for the victory. He's saying he wants to go up top. These fans, I don't know, they know exactly what to think here because you have two young men, very popular, just wanting to compete here at 4th of the Forest regardless of the opponent. In this case, they end up battling each other and the third man. Chris O'Neal shoved into his partner. And that one, I think, describes itself. No commentary needed. Did you hear some of the bands tuning up that performed later that night at 4th and the Forest? Dynamite Seth Knight now going up. He's thinking something dangerous here. Looks like it's going to be a superplex from the top rope. All these young men are top prospects in the area, always in the higher echelon of rankings at Wrestling Riot Online, RROnews.com, from a good friend Brian Trammell. Look at this. This is very dangerous. This could be a powerbomb and superplex all in one, and yes, it is. And I don't know who got the better of that one. I think Chris O'Neal did because he didn't land on the canvas. He tried to pin Seth Knight, 2 count only. He's going to try to pin Stan Lee here. He needs to hook a leg. Come on, Chris. You got to be thinking out there. He gave his partner an edge right there. But as I was mentioning, I don't know if the fans know exactly what to make of this matchup, simply because you have two young men that are very popular as a tag team going at each other. The fans really don't want to boo one or the other or whatnot. I guess they somewhat have been against Dynamite Seth Knight, not knowing exactly what to think about this more aggressive nature. Don't really want to say he's changed his ways back to his old ways, so to speak, but I think he realizes how crucial it is right now. If you want to stay in contention for John Michael Worthington, the RCW Heavyweight Champion, you've got to start racking up some victories, and it's been a while since he's went to that proverbial pay window, as they say, and he wants to get back there. And what a way to do it if he does it here at the annual 4th in the Forest in Jonesboro. Again, thank you to 1019 KISS FM, Double B, Brandon Baxter, and that entire staff that helped make this event happen. Dynamite Seth Knight scooping a slam now. Taking his time. He's thinking high risk again. Oh, that moonsault did not pay off. Springboard moonsault. Shades of Lionheart Chris Jericho, but it did not pay off. And all these men seemed a little bit fatigued right now. You know, it's very, very hot at these outside events during the summer, no doubt about it. And that will wear you down probably 50% more than it would in an inside air-conditioned building. Dynamite, oh, there it is, sour face silencer. Oh my gosh! Unbelievable. Stan Lee came off the top rope, had something in mind. Dynamite Seth Knight able to hit a double sour face silencer. Now the question is, who does he want to pin? Oh, Chris O'Neal got lucky right there, was close enough to the ropes, but give him credit, had that ring presence of mind. Reach out, grab that rope, and Stan Lee does the same thing. How frustrated must Dynamite Seth Knight be right now, because he hit both of his opponents with his finishing maneuver, had them potentially beat. Unfortunately, their placement in the ring was to their advantage, and they were able to not have to muster up a big kick out, simply just reach out and grab the bottom rope. Still to come this week on Ringside Championship Wrestling Late Night, we will see in tag team action All That Alan Steele teaming up with the dog Rodney Mack. They go up against Jamie J, and making his RCW debut, Master of the YTO, Tony Gunn. Look at this double team move coming up. No. It looks like it's a 2-on-1 now as O'Neal and Lee has started to team up against Dynamite. Realize, let's take him out, then we can worry about each other. But as I mentioned, that big tag team main event match coming up, it will be our card today, feature match of the week. Looking forward to seeing it. Look at this. Big back elbow by Stan Lee. Rolled through on Chris O'Neal, 1-2. He's going to try to get the pin. Oh, but Stan Lee pushes his own partner off. A little bit of trouble here. Now herein lies the problem, because both men want to get the victory. We saw last week it was revealed finally after all many, many months since Alan Steele made his Ringside Championship Wrestling debut back in the spring in Augusta, Arkansas, and said he is looking for somebody. I didn't get invited to the championship tournament. That's okay for right now. I'm looking for a man that I've been at odds with for many years. That man turned out to be Derek King, and we saw what happened last week. We showed you a replay of it at the top of our program, and I hope we're not seeing the breakup possibly of high stakes here, as these two are just pushing each other. Tempers are starting to flare. Dynamite, I think his timing might have been wrong right there. He stepped into the middle of a problematic situation between Stan Lee, Chris O'Neal, and they took it out on Seth Knight. Look at that. 1, 2, no! How Chris O'Neal kicked out of that, I will never know. Stan Lee going to go for a pinfall on Dynamite Seth Knight. Lots of things going on in Ringside Championship Wrestling. I mentioned the situation with All That Alan Steele and Derek King that you saw last week. We also still have the situation involving the RCW champion John Michael Worthington and his top contender, Girl Candy Christian Jacobs. As we mentioned, oh, Seth Knight to the floor, finding himself in a world of hurt this week on Ringside Championship Wrestling. Chris O'Neal, Stan Lee back and forth. Each man jockeying for position, trying to get the pinning combination. It's going to be O'Neal on top. He's kicked out of the ring to the floor right here in front of these fans. Seth Knight getting back in the ring. He gets caught in the midsection with the boot. Gut wrench here, thinking maybe of a powerbomb. Oh, and a nice diamond cutter-like maneuver by Seth Knight, a very innovative young man. He got the win. There it is. That's what he's been looking for. Dynamite Seth Knight victorious. He is certainly going to put himself back up the ladder to be in contention for the RCW Championship He looked for it. He delivered. Your winner this week, Dynamite Seth Knight in the first ever RCW three-way dance.
We can put a hard-working family in a good sedan, van, truck, or SUV. Car today, you'll ride today, 'cause we just say yes. Even good people have credit problems. We understand. Car today, you ride today. We have a plan. Come on down, you'll see what we got. Your next we'll sit in on our lot. Car today, you'll ride today, because we say yes.
If you've been turned down, come to Car today and get your next set of wheels from our lot.
Car today, you ride today, 'cause we just say yes.
The Ken Wayne School of Professional Wrestling is looking for new students. Think you've got what it takes to make it in the ring? Train with wrestling legend Nightmare Ken Wayne. Learn the ins and outs of the wrestling game. Train to be a professional wrestler, manager, or referee. Women are encouraged to apply and financing is available. Call us now for tuition information or log on to nightmarekenwayne.com for the Ken Wayne School of Professional Wrestling.
Quiet. Hold still. Becker. Beckham. Beckham. Feel like that credit has you locked up? Car today will bail you out.
Car today, you ride today, 'cause we just say yes. Car today, you ride today, our deal is the best.
Good credit or bad credit at Car today, we say yes. There you go.
Car today, you ride today, 'cause we just say yes.
Brian Thompson back ringside here with you on RCW Late Nite Wrestling Tag Team action coming up this week. Main event action here featuring two local favorites you have, and they look like a pretty good little tag team here. The red and white of Master of the YTO, Tony. Oh, look at that. Biscuits never looked so good. Master of the YTO submission from Rector, Arkansas on the apron, Tony Gunn, now resides in the Louisville, Kentucky area. His tag team partner, a local favorite for many years, Win Arkansas's own Jamie J. Opposition, of course, from RCW WWE Superstar Rodney Mack. His tag team partner, all that's Alan Steele. You want to talk about bad, what a bad tag team those guys are going to be. And don't forget, yes, wrestling fans, this is your Car Today feature match of the week on Ringside Championship Wrestling Late Night, which is made possible each and every week by Car Today. I tell you what, stop by, see Mark Crabtree, stop by, see Craig Stone. Those gentlemen are going to hook you up with what has to be the best in car deals today. I tell you what, there's some, if you, Craig Stone, look him up on Facebook. I saw a great deal that he was offering the other day where he was looking for people to help recommend going to Car Today, and they might make a nickel. So check out Craig Stone on Facebook. Check out Car Today in Jonesboro, Hot Springs, and Batesville. Jamie J in control now on all that Alan Steele, but Alan's still able to roll away from that situation. Interesting tag match here. Two teams that probably the first time both of these teams have ever been together, but you have four athletes that are seasoned. Tony Gunn in the wrestling business now for about 10 years. Jamie J probably about the same. Actually, it's in his blood. He's a third generation wrestling competitor. All that Alan Steele, all these men with more than a decade of wrestling experience, so you don't have any youngsters in there, no people that don't know exactly, or a little bit green, don't know exactly what they're doing quite yet. You have guys that are going to be able to handle the task at hand, and this should be a tremendous tag team feature match this week, again coming to you from 4th and the Forest in Jonesboro, Arkansas. A humongous crowd, easily the largest crowd in Ringside Championship Wrestling history, several hundred fans enjoying all the action. And now we're going to see the dog himself, Rodney Mack, tagged in. The Dog says he is simply here not to win championships, but to hurt people. And I think it would do, you can see that evil look in his eyes. I don't think it would upset the Dog to break somebody's bones in this match, either Jamie J or Tony Gunn. He would take great pleasure in doing that. Vicious side headlock now by Rodney Mack as he grinds in on the head, trying to give that cauliflower ear to Jamie J, and now shoulder tackle knocks him to the mat. And the Dog is howling. You're going to hear some of the fans cheer for the Dog. There's no doubt about it. At one time, Rodney Mack was one of the most beloved superstars to come in the Jonesboro area in many, many years. But I'd say in the last 6 months or so, that attitude has went completely south. He has done some dirty things. And of course, some people, it doesn't matter what you do, they're going to love you. But this man, he's done some things that have really upset a lot of people. That's why you see him doing some of the things he's done, some of the comments he made on Ringside Championship Wrestling Late Night some weeks ago from Forest City about hurting people, didn't care about the fans. He scared some kid, ran that kid right out of the arena. Nice hip toss by Jamie J, the sensational Jamie J, that is, representing Wynn, Arkansas, proud and strong this week on RCW Late Night Wrestling, and Alan Steele in there, barking, no pun intended, some encouragement to the Dog, Rodney Mack. Alan Steele, as we saw last week, that sneak attack, came in, jumped Derek King and Cody Melton from behind, and then you knew they were in cahoots because Golden Boy Greg Anthony knew exactly who the surprise person was that Alan Steele was looking for, because Alan Steele told Greg Anthony that about 4 or 5 weeks ago in Forest City, and then they took advantage of the situation, played it out just right, and you got to wonder just how close the ties between Alan Steele and Midnight Gold are. And who even knows how Rodney Mack plays into this whole situation. But the attack on Derek King and Cody Melton, Derek King was leveled. Golden Boy was able to hold him still and make him watch Alan Steele punish Cody Melton. And thank goodness for Stan Lee, Chris O'Neal coming out as a unit, helping matters in that situation. You know, Derek King is a good friend of many people in the wrestling industry, including this young man, Tony Gunn. You got to be wondering, Tony Gunn may be thinking, hey, I'm going to take out a measure of revenge for my friend, Derek King. May just want to rip a shoulder off there of all that Alan Steele Tony Gunn put together. You know, he's wrestled now for 7, 8, 9 years, has went around the country, competed in Phoenix, Arizona on a couple of occasions, competed in Louisville, Kentucky quite often, of course, all over northeast Arkansas, southeast Missouri. He's made a name for himself, but he's back here in his home area. As I mentioned, he is originally from Rector, and he would love to impress his friends and family who have come out here to support him. Look at that deep arm dragon twist for the master of the YTO, a young man who, growing up, idolized Ken Shamrock, wanting to have that sort of style of wrestling in his repertoire, that MMA, Ultimate Fight type style that Ken Shamrock brought into the world of professional wrestling. Tag out now to Jamie J, who comes in. Big elbow on that left arm. They're going to focus in on that arm. Double team coming up. Like I said, this young tag team, they dress almost alike. Double hip toss, impressive by the team of Jamie J, Tony Gunn. Jamie J with a big hook of the leg, 2 count only. Irish whip coming up, no reversal by all that Allen. Oh, and the Dog. The Dog caught Jamie J in the back in the kidney area with a big knee, nasty. Now Jamie J, what momentum he and Tony Gunn had created has been stopped now, and a big clothesline by the man from Memphis, Tennessee, all that Alan Steele, and he just rolls through, and he's cut that ring in half. Very, very impressive. Alan Steele tag out there, actually used the foot as a tag. Now a stomp on the back. Some of the fans are going to yell and argue. A little dissension on that tag, saying that that wasn't an illegal tag. Tony Gunn's upset about it. You can't see him on your screen, but he was actually trying to get the referee's attention, and it actually worked to his disadvantage because he caused his partner, Jamie J, to be double teamed there for a moment. We'll have more great action coming to you next week here on RCW Late Night. We're going to catch you up on some of the great action that's been going on that we haven't been able to show you in the last several weeks as we kind of take a little bit of a summer break, catch our breath, let everybody go out and enjoy their vacations before bringing RCW Wrestling back to you later in the year. As you see, Rodney Mack wearing down Jamie J. Jamie J came in, made his RCW debut in Wynn, Arkansas, in his hometown area at Farm Fest 2010. And look at this, Alan Steele applying pressure, grabbing that leg, nasty there. I'm telling you what, I'm impressed with this team of Alan Steele and Rodney Mack. They may be something. You may be seeing something forming here that may last a little bit longer than just here at the annual 4th of the Forest Festival. Wouldn't that be devastating? On a clothesline by the dog. Tags out to Alan Steele. Very good continuity for two guys that have not teamed before. 2 count only, says referee Biscuit there. Glad to add Biscuit to the refereeing roster. We've had some great referees here in Ringside Championship Wrestling. Do a great job each and every time out. We try to bring you the best all around, whether it's wrestlers, referees, announcers. My directors are looking at me laughing at that one. Hey, come on now. Alan Steele, Irish whip on Jamie J. Swing and miss on a clothesline. Sunset flip up and over. Alan Steele is going to go down, or is he? He's trying to hang on, trying to get over to his corner. He wants to make that tag and stop this situation. Grabs the ropes. Referees there admonishing, saying, get off those ropes. He kicked him. I don't even think the kick connected, but Alan Steele was already being pulled down by Jamie J before that kick would have ever even touched him. Be that as it may, Rodney Mack snuck in. Now, wait a second. One of those tags where there really was not a tag made. Here comes the dog back in. Here's a bad, bad man, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you there. Irish whip. Oh, shoulder tackle. Jamie J is knocked senseless there. He could be out. Here comes Tony Gunn. He's seen enough. They're dragging Jamie J back into their corner. Alan Steele, Rodney Mack. What an impressive tag team this week on Ringside Championship Wrestling Late Night. Here against Jamie J and Master of the YTO, Tony Gunn, in front of a packed 4th of the Force is what I was trying to say. Look at that, shrugged off. Alan Steele right in that steel post, no pun intended. Alan Steele's shoulder is banged up there on that steel. He's hurting for certain, I promise you there. He's going to have to tag out to the dog. I think he's frustrated wanting to make Jamie J pay, and that may be a mistake as Jamie connects with a big right hand. Couple of them now. He's floored him. Here comes Tony Gunn tagged in. Tony Gunn, a southpaw, delivering with those left hands. He'd do a couple rights, but he is a southpaw. Let me tell you, he loves to hit those left-handed jabs and swinging big right, or swinging big left hands. Usually saying swinging right hand. Left hand doesn't make as much sense. Tony Gunn on top of the cover. Oh, and the dog catches him with a leg drop to the back of the head. My producers are telling me right now where we have about 2.5 minutes to go on our television time. We're going to stay with this one and try to give you this entire matchup before we have to go off the air again. Thank you for joining us wherever you are this week on KAIT TVA Jonesboro. Thank you for staying up late with us. Our ratings are good. We're looking at a great rating here in Jonesboro. I'm glad to be here. Look at this. Master of the YTO, Tony Gunn, looking for a submission. If he turns this on Alan Steele, but on the floor, you didn't see it. Rodney Mack nailed Jamie J and has left him laying. Tony Gunn's got a problem with the dog. He's trying to check on his partner. Look out from behind. From behind, Alan Steele catching Tony Gunn. He's going to plant him there. There's that devastating steel trap. He locks this in, folks. It's going to be all she wrote. He's pulling back. He's pulling back. Tony Gunn's trying to fight it. Nobody's been able to. Tony Gunn taps out. Tony Gunn tapped out this week on Ringside Championship Wrestling. That is nasty. That is a devastating tag team in the form of Rodney Mack and Alan Steele. Your winners this week on Ringside Championship Wrestling Late Night. Thank you again for joining us here on Ringside Championship Wrestling. Look forward to seeing you next week. We'll have more great action. As mentioned, we'll catch you up on everything that's been going on here in Ringside Championship Wrestling. On that note, thank you again. We will see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Don't bark like one. Wicked but a hard-working family. In a good sedan van, truck or SUV. Car today, you'll ride today, cause we just say yes. Even good people have credit problems, we understand. Car today, you ride today, we have a plan. Come on down, you'll see what we got. Your next we'll sit on our line. Car today, you'll ride today, because we say yes.
If you've been turned down, come to Karn today and get your next set of wheels from our lot.
Car today, you ride today, 'cause just say yes.